Hello and welcome to Battle of Wits. I am so excited for this week's episode. From the Friendship Hour podcast, we have Oren Shbiro. Hello, Oren.
Hi.
And Jason Celin. Hello, Jason.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks for being on. How are you both doing today?
Best year of my life.
Very good, very good.
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Okay, enough with this very easy, not awkward warm-up chat. Let's get to the first round of the game, the warm-up round. Okay, in this round, I will ask you some interesting questions, and you will give me your best answer. So points go to whoever's answer I like the best, basically. So try to impress me. Our first question is, what did the state of Michigan name a natural resource in 1985? Oren, we will start with you.
Natural resource in 1985 was cotton candy. It turned out that there was a tree growing in someone's yard that just naturally grew cotton candy, and it was a huge deal. Everyone was freaking out because there was such an amount of cotton candy, no one could control it. It was like by the world, but then it rained, and that was cotton candy. So
very good. Yeah, I was gonna ask because my family's from Michigan. But I was wondering why I'd never seen a cotton candy tree, but I was born in 87, so rain. Okay, good answer. Jason, what is your answer?
It's cheese stolen from Wisconsin. Yeah. So there was the great cheese war of '84, which we all know Michigan won by using the Upper Peninsula as a flank attack, and from then on, I believe they had control of the cheese curds, and then just from there, I mean, it was just a flawless, easy victory, you know. So cheese,
very, very good answers to you both. I like that you both went with a food theme. I'm going to give the point to Jason just because he showed some knowledge of Michigan by mentioning the Upper Peninsula. So
he said peninsula, he said flank, he was all over the place.
He used a lot of big city words. Yeah. That really impressed me.
He's going to take it with words. I know it.
Unfortunately, though, you were both incorrect. So in 1985, Aretha Franklin's voice was named a natural resource by Michigan. So the Detroit-born natural woman singer was honored with the title the same year she released her 30th studio album. This album was called Who's Zooming Who, which seems a little prophetic about, year 2020, 2021. So
sure, yeah. What did that mean back then?
I don't know. I'm guessing like boning.
Yeah.
That's probably a good guess.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that. I call her Queen A, the original, not Queen B, Queen A, Queen Agatha.
Yes, she's the OG. All right, our next question. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to read my handwriting. It's terrible. What happened for the first, and as far as we know, only time in Antarctica in 2014? Jason, something happened in Antarctica for the first time in 2014. What was it?
Somehow, because polar bears are from the Arctic, somehow a penguin and polar bear struck a friendship. And in a Pixar-like series of events, they lost each other because they got in a fight. And then that was about the third act of the movie. But they came back, stronger than ever. And now they both have perished due to global warming, unfortunately. I
remember that, and I remember that Oh, I can't recall his name. The guy who does all the songs for the Toy Story movies.
Newman.
Newman, yes.
Gary.
Yes.
Andy? Gary? Which one?
I think it was Randy.
Randy. I was close. Between Andy and Gary, I had Randy in there.
He wrote a song about this polar bear and penguin, and since you know quite a bit about them, do you think you'd be able to like hum a few bars of the song, Jason? Or?
I'm tone deaf, and it's actually it's based on the old dreidel 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 song that Oren starts every episode of Friendship Hour with. It's like penguin penguin penguin. You and a polar bear are friends. It's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get teared up just hearing it. That's such a beautiful story of friendship.
That was beautiful.
Very excellent answer from Jason. Oren, what is your answer?
So it was the first and only time. Is that right?
As far as we know, only time.
As far as we know, right? Okay. So I believe it was the only time a Jew paid full price for a shovel. It was a rough winter, as they tend to be over there. But this was one of the rougher ones, and one of my uncles actually told me the story that he was over there and he just didn't have a choice, so he paid full price. And as to my knowledge, no other Jewish person's ever done that. So that's what happened.
All right, both very good answers. This is a hard call. Jason, I'm gonna give it to you again, Oren. I'm sorry. Yours was kind of close because it had to do with relationships a little bit. So it was actually in 2014, a successful Tinder match happened in Antarctica for the first and possibly only time ever. So I don't know if it was between a penguin and a polar bear. It could have been, but it was two researchers. One of them was working at a research station, and one of them was camping a 45-minute helicopter ride away. And I guess, when scientists aren't researching, they're on Tinder. So
on that premium Tinder, got to pay to get that kind of mile radius.
That's amazing.
All right, we have two more questions in this round. Oren, we'll start this question with you.
Okay.
A library in Anchorage, Alaska does not lend out books. Instead, it lends out what?
Condoms.
Oh no! It lends them out.
Reusable.
Run them through the dishwasher before you return them. Kind of the Be Kind Rewind style of return. It's still running right now, but I think they might stop it soon if they, think about it for a second. But teach their own. Like I said.
Okay, so have they seen any, increased number of births or anything in Anchorage since they started this condom lending program?
No. The receptionist at the library looks at them through the light real quick, make sure there's no hole. That's a foolproof system. So as long as no light shining through, go home, boo boo. That's actually on the license plates over there.
Wow!
That's how they do it there. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very good. Jason, what is your answer?
It's the Anchorage Aged Anchor library system. So you get an old vintage anchor for your boat, and it's on the honor system. So if your boat doesn't need to stay where it is, you got to bring it back.
All right, very good.
I like that. An aged anchor from Anchorage, right? That's
you explained it pretty well. Really assuming the audience is dumb as hell.
Yeah. As dumb as me. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Insulting me. That's very nice of you. Thank you very much. Friends, remember
that. Okay. Both very good answers. Oren, I'm gonna give you the point just to keep the game interesting. And I liked the little rhyme that was on their license plate. That was very well done. Shockingly, you're both incorrect. It's actually a taxidermy library. So the Alaska Resource Library and Information Services loans out things such as perfectly preserved carcass of ringneck pheasants or a mounted black rockfish. So if you have a library card, you can just go get a nice carcass.
I mean,
good to know.
That makes sense to me. You could use one. You don't need to keep it. You don't need one forever. You know what I mean?
No.
For a little while, take some pictures with it, and then you're done. So
if you're tired of if you get tired of your home decor pretty often, you can just switch out the animal every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
That's actually a very good idea. Yeah. That's an excellent system. All right. Yeah. Our final question of the warm-up round. What were the bean wars of the 1990s and how were they fought? So what were the bean wars of the 1990s and how were they fought? Oren.
Okay. The bean wars were in fact about jelly beans.
The most violent of the beans.
Yeah, everybody knows that about jelly beans. But there was an issue to include blue in the regular setup of colors and not special packs. The war was fought with microwaves. It doesn't sound dangerous, but if you use enough of them around other candies, it makes them taste a little less good. And inch by inch, they made every other candy taste a little less good until people only focused on jelly beans. And then
so the jelly beans were actually like the soldiers in the war?
Yes, of course they were.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize. I must have misread that part of my history book.
That's fair. Because everyone knows since global warming picked up, they're not animate anymore. So
okay. Right. Yeah, I guess I do have vague memories as a child of, jelly beans walking around, but
for sure.
Yeah, wow.
They're slow, but they do move.
Okay, very interesting. And how did the war end up resolving? Do you recall?
Yeah, I do. It was. The truth is, they added blue into the and turned out no one liked him in the end. So so blue went back to just being an M&M, and that's how it ended.
Yeah.
Terrific answer, Oren. Very good. And honestly, I think it's true. I'm going to have to Google this at the end of the show. Jason, can you tell me what were the bean wars of the 1990s and how were they fought?
So Jack and Jill, famous for going up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack had his magic bean, the beanstalk bean, and it grew very high in the sky. Jill also had one, and they fought a battle to the death in the heavens. It's just they had rival beanstalks. And it ended when the giant just gulped them both up.
Beans.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't realize that was the same Jack. He's pretty.
No, Jack gets around.
Jack wasn't even good on a hill. Never mind an entire beanstalk.
Yeah.
So I can't even.
Is it also the same Jack in Titanic?
Yeah.
Is it all?
Titanic and the giant peach. He's just.
Don't try to fool me.
That's his cousin. It actually happened to Jack, and they have to change the name due to legal reasons to change. Like in. Just a bunch of historical movies where they change the names of the people, like in Fargo. It's a Fargo situation.
Okay. Both excellent answers, Oren. You get that one. I just love the idea of little jelly beans marching off to war.
I mean, they didn't, but that's nice that you like. Horrible time for them.
Yeah, because I respect our troops, right. And that's why. You get the point. Okay, at the end of that round, you are tied with 2 points apiece as we go on to round number 2. now it is time for the What Does It Mean round. In this round, I will show you some words and I will mispronounce them. And you will tell me what they mean. Let's take a look at our first word, Ferula. Ferula. And as always, if you have an alternate pronunciation to any of these words, or if you think I'm mispronouncing it, please correct me and let me know. Jason, we'll start with you. What does Ferula mean?
The Ferula is the part of your brain that is able to process greens, the taste of different greens, like arugula. It's named after arugula. It's the cerebellum arugula stem in your brain, and it's responsible for letting you just discern the different tastes of greens.
Interesting. Well done. Oren, what does Ferula mean?
It's actually slang. I know this for a fact because when I was a kid, I had a Jamaican babysitter, and she used to really fancy this dried fruit snack that many kids enjoy, and they called fruit roll-ups. But she'd always be like, "Give me a fruit roll, give me a fruit roll-up, fruit roll-up." So that's Ferula is actually slang for fruit roll-up. So.
Very, very good. Jason, oddly close on that one. So I'm going to give you a point. It actually is a tall, large-leaved Eurasian plant. So it is a green. It is a tall green plant. So you weren't entirely wrong, and that's close enough.
That was very wrong, but I'll take it.
You said the word green, and that was in the answer. Okay, our next word, polixiation. Wow, I should have looked up how to pronounce that word. I am from New Brunswick, so please forgive me. I don't know how to say anything that's more than 2 syllables. Polixitation. Oren. Politicization.
Politicization actually is, and I know this for a fact because I have a family member who used to do this. It's when they bring in the poles into stripper clubs. Before it has no pole, and then they call to get it politicized. And the politicization is the process of bringing them in. It's actually pretty complicated, but a fruitful business. So.
Okay. So what would you say is the most, you said you have a family member who does this, so you probably know a bit about it. What's the most complicated part of politicizing a dance?
There's a lot of information. You gotta know the width length of every stripper's hand so that you can possibly measure. You need to know the proper girth of the pole before installation. It's very important.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't realize that. So every pole is custom made.
Yes, absolutely. Not wise that you have to tie 2 together if you must, but girth wise, everyone made. Yeah.
Fascinating. Thank you for sharing that. Jason, what does this word mean?
Well, it's a Montreal specific word. We all know about the drivers versus cyclist war in Montreal. So a policitation is when a driver illegally parks in a bike lane to really give it to those cyclists and gets a ticket out of it. So it's a political citation.
Very good.
Yeah, it's really taking it to the man and to those cyclists who have it too good, Far too good, far too good. Not as good as the unicyclists though, which
be careful of you. They're going down soon, so they don't mind.
I will take them down on my own. Okay. Oren, I'm going to give you the point. Well done. So it's actually an old Roman law, obviously. And the definition was long and weird. So it's an offer unaccepted by the promisee, but made enforceable as a promise of legislation. So, in short, it's a promise or a proposal that was not accepted. But
okay.
Yeah. So it's a promise that's not unkept, but that's like the person receiving
rejected,
the promise doesn't. Yeah, a rejected promise.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're learning.
We're learning so much. All right. Our last word of this round is balneology. Balneology. Jason, we'll start with you.
Well, it's the male counterpart to gynecology.
Oh.
It's if you're a doctor who wants to specialize in the scrotal affairs, you go into balneology, and it's a highly specialized field, and it takes a lot of years. Like people think med school, you just go in, you kind of you go into general medicine, but no, you choose balneology. You're there for decades. It gets tough,
Yeah, I actually heard that the phrase just dicking around actually comes from people who are doing things very, very seriously and taking a long time, but it's been bastardized to mean goofing off. So
exactly,
that makes sense.
It's a balneologic word.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent answer, Oren. What is your answer?
It's a good answer, but it's not true because I know what this actually means because my sister wrote a thesis about it for her PhD. It's actually the study of how when the popular late 90s, 2000s band Backstreet Boys were together, they all loathed the youngest Nick Carter because he thought he was so special. So it's actually BALN, Backstreet all loathe Nick-ology is what that actually
is. Wow.
And it's a very, very complicated. You should read the thesis. It's online. It's on her MySpace page, so you should.
Very nice.
Read about it.
So, what was your sister? You said
my sister. Yes, correct.
So, what's her career path now? What does she do now with this excellent wealth of knowledge?
Actually, she's a librarian in Alaska.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's how I knew all that stuff.
Call back.
Yeah. Both fantastic answers. Going to give that one to Jason, but excellent work to both of you. At the end of that round, Oren has 3 points. Jason has 4 points. It's still anyone's game as we go in to round number 3. It is time for my favorite round, the 2 truths, 1 lie round. In this round, you will each tell us 3 anecdotes about yourself, your life, your adventures, and we will try to figure out which one is a lie. Jason, because you are in the lead, you will go first. Please tell us your 2 truths and 1 lie.
Okay. So the only time I did Catholic confession, I made up a sin because I was a sinless child. Number 2, I have pooped my pants 4 times as an adult. Number 3, my Italian grandfather's last words were "Mamma mia."
Oh no. Okay, I will open the floor for questioning. Oren, what is your first question for Jason?
My first question would be, so you're claiming that you've only pooped yourself in your adult life? That's what you're saying in that statement?
I said I only pooped myself 4 times as an adult. Yes.
Okay, only 4. That's what you're sticking to.
Yeah.
So from the time you were 18 to present day, 30s?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Only 4 times. Okay. All right. What about okay, and what was it? The first one. Bring that back to me. What was the first one?
My confession, my Catholic confession, my first Catholic confession.
Right.
I made up a sin because I was a sinless child.
Okay, so you're hold on, but in that statement, you're saying
exactly.
The reason you lied wasn't because you were too embarrassed about your actual sins that we know you had. because you were sinless and you had to make something up.
I mean, birth is the original sin, Jason. Come on, I taught at a Catholic school for a year.
It's a different type of Catholicism where we don't have that.
Okay.
What did you say your sin was?
I said I stole a candy bar because I think I'd seen it on TV. So, yeah.
Okay. And wait, hold on. So there's the sins, there's the poo poo, and wow, this is a tough one.
And the Mamma Mia with the grandfather.
Was he watching the movie? Like, was that on?
What movie?
That movie.
Which of the great Italian classics?
Was he expressive with it, or was it like a low, like a Mamma Mia, or was it like a Mamma Mia?
Like, oh, Mama, or like he was having a heart attack. Like Mamma Mia. And the other just...
No, it was like when you watch a movie and you see someone like kind of see the light, and you're like, don't go towards. It's like that sort of.
It was like a dramatic whisper.
It was more like like gasping at the same time, like a Mamma Mia, like a
like he saw the biggest pizza pie he's ever seen. Walk towards the pizza pie.
Yeah, like he was steps away from the moon and he could actually see the moon was in fact a pizza pie.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So what were the circumstances of you? I have a couple of questions about the poo-poo.
Right.
You say only 4 times. Off the top of my head, I can think of 2 in my adult life, both of which times I was very, very ill. So why only 4?
Because it wasn't 5.
About how many times I've pooped myself, but 4 seems like a lot for a grown-up.
Yeah, and when you say poo, are you saying full poo? Like you haven't even had...
Oh, it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum of poop.
I'm really regretting
from squirt to full blast.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I think I know the truth because I've seen you poo at least 4 times in my house in your pants. I know. I'm quite confident that I know that's our lie.
Do you have digestive issues, Jason? Should we be worried about you?
No, it was a lie because it wasn't 4. It was less than 4.
Yeah, no, it was more. That's why we talked about only
3 times, baby.
All right. Oren, was that your guess?
Yeah, that's my guess.
Okay, so Jason, you get the point for only pooping yourself 3 times as a grown-up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So your dying grandpa actually said Mamma Mia when
last words.
I'm sorry that I'm laughing at that.
No, it's great. I try to bring up as much as possible.
I would as well.
We're holding out that my grandmother says oy vey in her last moments too, just to equal it out.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well done, Jason. Oren, it is your turn. What are your 2 truths and 1 lie?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. In the last round, Jason knew that I knew the answers to this, but I'm gonna try to throw him off by telling things. So I've changed them up. They're gonna be a bit ranty, but he's gonna figure it out, right?
All right.
Okay. First one was when I was 12 years old. I was babysitting a family friend who was like 5 or 6 years old. His mother was just running out of the house for 2 hours. I was supposed to take care of the kid. And while we were playing, we were kind of like playing Ninja Turtles, like roughhousing, like running around. Now the kid is a little heavy set, and he tried to jump off of a couch.
No.
And I wanted none of that, just because I'm fragile. So with no regard to what was behind me, I decided not to catch him, even though he was 6, and I didn't break his fall. I just let him crash, and he went into a glass coffee table, ended up with 5 stitches on his face. I bumped into him a few weeks ago, and that scar is very visible still. Good 20 years later. So that was my fault. And that's the first one. The second was I had a friend who used to do a lot of he used to always play on the radio game, like the radio contests, like guess the music, whatever. But he always needs to use a different name in order to get the tickets, because if you submit too many times under the same name, they stop you. He got us tickets because he used my name to the premiere of Almost Famous, a movie that came out years ago. So I was there at like one of the first showings of the premiere. I don't really remember, but while I was there, I went to the bathroom midway, and while I was peeing, Barashel was in the bathroom. He was in the movie, and I saw his scene already. No one really knew who he was at the time. I did, and while he was peeing, I said to him, "You were great in the movie, man." And then he looked at me, got a better look. It wasn't Barashel at all. It was just my peeing. It was very, very awesome. That's 2. 3 is that my grandmother adopted my mother, so my mother's adopted. We had to search for her parents, just because back then when you did adoption, you could seal the records. You couldn't find out who your mother was. So we decided to do a little bit of a search, a deep dive, and it turns out that my mother was actually a product, like she was a surrogate that was held by someone else, and that surrogate was actually not Jewish. So technically speaking, I'm not Jewish. That's my 3.
All right. Okay, Jason, what is your first question?
How many stitches did you say the kid had?
I'm not positive. 4 or 5, something.
Okay, so you're changing your answer. Interesting.
Wow.
And where was the just to jump to number 3 here? Where was
first of all, change it, okay? Because this is a game. We're all having fun here, and you're kind of at me like I just cheated on you. So let's
real stuff down here. All right.
I love that you're taking notes. Wonderful.
I took notes. Where was the surrogate from? Your mother's.
She's from Ontario.
Ontario.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Likely story.
What part of Ontario?
No, I didn't find that out. Again, they're not details that they informed me.
Okay, so there's holes in this story. What theater was this movie premiere at?
It was the Scotiabank. It was the Paramount back then, but now it's the Scotiabank.
How old were you?
It's hard to say. I must have been before even Sejep, so probably still, or maybe right around Sejep at that time, because I saw Jerry Barashel at Dawson once, and I'm quite positive that was after this awkward encounter. So I went to that must have been so it must have been before 2002, I would imagine.
And how and what year was this? Okay, 2002. And how was Barashel even in Almost Famous?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
I was a big Popular Mechanics for Kids fan when I was younger, and I am not remembering him being in Almost Famous. And I
so I didn't know him from that. I knew him from My Hometown, which is the worst YTV show in the world. But he's in it. He's like a big Zeppelin fan. He's wearing a T-shirt, and he has like maybe 2 scenes in it where he's like, you gotta follow the band, man. He plays a kind of a stonery weird.
Right.
Okay.
And you're not Jewish.
I mean, well, my mother who raised me is a goddamn Jew, and and it is in my blood. So I'm saying, technically, I mean, if Hitler was yelling at me, I'd be like, technically, no. If you look at this, for me, you could say I'm not.
I'm okay.
Okay, Jason, do you have any more questions, or would you like to make your guess?
I'm gonna guess the third one is the lie.
Okay. Oren, what is the lie?
The third one's the lie.
Yeah. Look at how you got so hyped up when I questioned his Judaism. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way.
All right. Well done, both of you. At the end of that round, Jason, you have 5 points, and Oren, you have 4 points. You two know each other too well to lie each other, and that's really what friendship is all about. So congratulations. We have 2 more rounds left to go. Coming up next, we have the How Much round. All right, now it is time for the How Much round. In this round, I will show you interesting things I have found for sale on the internet, and you will tell me how much you think they cost. Whoever guesses closest to the correct price will win. It doesn't matter if you're over or under. It's just whoever is closest. Are you ready for the how much round?
Born ready.
All right.
Ready, yeah.
Here we go. So this is a human-powered car from a website called Hammer Schmelmer. So this hybrid vehicle powered by electricity generated by human effort. Oh my goodness, I do not know how to read today.
It's okay. It's humor. Tis the portmanteau. Is
Exactly. Thank you. You understand.
Yeah.
So the 4 bars are pulled by up to 4 operators, and the bars basically they go through a sequence. It puts all the energy in the engine, and off you go. The description for this was very long and boring. So it's a human-powered car from Hammer Schmelmer.
Is there an engine? Did you say there's a motor or an engine in there?
Yeah, so up to 4 people sort of pull it like a rowing machine, kind of.
Right.
And that generates electricity.
Okay.
That moves it.
Okay.
I heard that's the newest Tesla prototype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're sending this one into space in a couple months.
Yeah.
So, Jason, how much do you think this human-powered car costs?
The number $2,400 is popping in my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would actually. Yeah, it has to be, right? It has to be at least. I would say a cool $3,000.
$3,000.
Can't be more than that, can it?
Oh, it can be. It can be $56,000 more than that.
Oh, wow.
The human-powered car from hammerschmelmer.com is $60,000. But what's that amongst friends, right?
Is that Canadian? Is that US? Is that?
I think that's Canadian. Yeah, they usually switch the price to Canadian dollars. So
this woman's so annoyed right now. She's like, Gramps, you're not pulling your weight. Okay? I feel like I'm doing you haven't been doing much. I know your arthritis has been acting up since 2007, but still, you gotta just kind of.
Yeah, come on, Grandpa. Yeah,
he's like, Mamma Mia, and then out.
Flatline.
To die in a human-powered car, isn't that the dream?
Yeah. What did you say the company's name was?
It's Hammer Schmelmer.
Wow.
SCHLEMMER. Hammer Schmelmer.
That's also a German fetish.
100%.
Like, maybe we shouldn't use your last name as the company name. He's like, no, I really Schmeller. Think about it. Apper, Schmelmer, you know?
It rolls off the tongue in a very sexy way. Hammer Schmelmer. Yeah. Love it. Okay. So this next one, because you are from the Friendship Hour podcast, this is a friend theme one. Oh, so this is Rent a Friend. So the website rentafriend.com allows you to rent a friend. So you can rent a friend for drinks or hire a wingman, wingwoman. Rent a friend for dinners or the movies. Rent a friend to attend a meeting or event with you.
Looks like they only have one friends available so far.
Yeah. Their website does state that they do have friends of all ages and ethnicities, but
all
their
ages
photos do not show that. I think all grown-up ages.
Okay, yeah.
All grown-up ages. They also say that you can rent. People are using friend services to introduce you to people, wingman, wingwoman, teaching manners, which is very important, hot air balloon, prom.
Was that a non sequitur?
Just hot air balloon.
Hot air balloon.
Yeah. Hot air balloon.
I feel like the guy who started this has a large stake in a hot air balloon company, and he really wants people to go 2x2 because you can't operate it one person at a time.
That's definitely it. He's always like, look, you can rent your friend of any age or ethnicity They could be your wing woman. Yeah, you could take them to prom, but hot air balloon. That's the friendships that last.
Yeah.
Let's take the hot air balloon to prom. Bam. I think you're onto something, Jason. I think you're onto something. So my question for you is, this is the starting price. Everyone, I think, on the website, honestly, after getting those images, I was a little creeped out by the website and stopped looking at it. I didn't deep dive into the prices, but I did see there's a starting rate. Okay. So to rent a friend, what do you think the starting rate is?
Well, it's not fair because Jason probably knows. He's probably seen it.
That's how I found you.
Yeah. And I would imagine it starts at $25 an hour.
$25 an hour? All right. Good guess. Jason, what is your guess?
$60 an hour.
$60 an hour. You guys have too much faith. It starts at $10 an hour, which somehow that number makes it sad for me in a number of ways.
Well, I mean, it's under minimum, so they're literally
it's slave labor.
Illegal, yeah.
Especially after the Uber of whatever this service is takes their 30% cut.
Yeah, exactly.
But $10 an hour if the other person's paying for a hot air balloon ride.
I mean, realistically, those are the cheapest movers you could possibly find
right.
in the world.
That's a very good point.
Oh, next time I move, I'm using Rent-A-Friend.
Yeah.
I might get murdered, but yeah. That's always a risk. All right. Well done. We have one more left in this round, and boys, oh boys, what it is. Okay. So this one, in all caps, I found this on Etsy, and the title is, all caps, please buy these terrifying haunted dolls, vintage from 1980s, which I've said it before and I will say again. I resent things from the 80s being called vintage. Okay. So I'm not going to read you the entire description just because I copied and pasted it into Google Docs and it is 8 pages long. Wow. So I'm just going to scroll through it and give you the Sparks notes. Right. So basically, this family, they had renovations because their siding was falling off. And because of the pandemic, they can't go anywhere. So they started doing car picnics as a family, which they talk about in detail. Like, this lady is bringing up the fact that their car picnics were often interrupted by dirty diapers. And so, she's just, kind of letting out her sort of lockdown anguish on this Etsy description. Okay. So basically what happens is one point during these car picnics, one of their daughters wants to sing. So she sings Let It Go. It's very beautiful. And then their younger, and I'm just going to say it, creepier daughter decides she wants to sing. And she sings a song that no one in the family has ever heard before. And they ask her where she sang it from. And she says, Marie taught it to me. They don't know anyone Marie. And because they've been in lockdown, they haven't met anyone Marie. Turns out they find these dolls in the siding of their house that was falling off. They are haunted. And there's a better view of them. They figured out that this doll had a music box, and that was the song that her daughter was allegedly singing. Right. So that's the longest description I've ever seen on Etsy.
Yeah.
These are my favorite haunted dolls I've seen. There they are.
Peering through.
Why did they take the pictures with a flash digital camera from 2003? Like a Sony, it's not even just those bricks.
It's a disposable camera that
right.
Yeah.
and they developed the pictures themselves in the red room in the basement.
Right.
That's what's really haunted.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the souls of her daughters.
I like that she included the entire story to.
It's a whole. I haven't even read the whole thing. It's
like an essay. It's like when you want to find a recipe and they write their entire life story before the recipe.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't just skip to price.
I don't care what happened to you when you were 7. Okay, just tell me how to make a shepherd's pie already.
Oh my god, I hate that.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, no, this lady, I think, in her spare time, she definitely writes recipes and mommy blogs.
Yeah.
And also, she's clearly a budding photographer.
Yeah, absolutely. She's Heather Boyd's. She speaks daughter. We know some does some doll photography, and she could use some pointers from her for sure.
Okay, so how much do you think this pair? It's a pair of haunted dolls. They cannot be split up because they'll get angry, I guess. How much do you think they cost, Jason?
Okay. Clearly she wants to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they need the money for renovations, I guess. Is that what they were doing?
No, yeah. I think you have to keep in mind that like this is like a deal. It's like a devil deal, so you have to exchange money in order to.
You can't. Yeah, it's like a Faustian bargain.
Exactly.
And also, this person had the time to write an 8-page description of these dolls. So either they're rich enough to have that time, I think they're either very rich and have a lot of time, or very poor and have a lot of time.
Yeah, I think they just need to get rid of it, but they need to exchange something for. Like, I think it requires like just like $4 and a lock of your hair. You know what I mean? Like that's right. And then that lock. The
first tooth that your firstborn lost.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how much I charge when I rent a friend.
I think I want to say cheap, but like if it was cheap, they'd be gone by now. You know, there's a doll collector in every city, every borough's got a doll collector. I think they're going very high, and I think I'm going to say $8,000.
Wow. Okay.
I got burned by the other two guesses, so I'm gonna go really high on this one.
I feel like that's what you end up getting for $10 from Rent a Friend. Those two show up. I don't think people are gonna believe this.
Oren, how much do you think for these terrifying haunted dolls?
I think this again. I think $4 and a lock of hair. I think that's what I'm sticking with.
Should have said 8,000.
Yeah, there's a bit of a gap here. Oren gets the point, but you're still both really far off.
Yeah. These
dolls are definitely overpriced by my standards, but cheap to Moneybags Jason. They are $886.46, and the soul of your second born.
So that's why I promised to stop at 1. I don't want any of that happening.
Exactly. The second ones are always the mischievous ones.
But you see, they really don't want to get rid of those dolls if it's $800.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, why would they? It's all caps. Like, please buy these terrifying dolls, and then almost $900.
Also, will accept PVC siding as an exchange.
Exactly. All right. Excellent job to you both. At the end of that round, Oren pulled ahead with 7 points. But Jason, you still have a shot to take it in the lightning round with 5 points.
The Bumblebee.
It is. It's Bumblebee time. Now it is time for our final round, the lightning round. In this round, I will ask you rapid fire questions. You will answer to the best of your ability. Just shout out the answers, and whoever I hear say the correct answer first gets the point. This round is nonsense and usually highly contested. So let's begin the lightning round. What is the opposite of day?
Night.
Name the third month of the year.
March.
North, east, south,
west.
Ooh, that was a tie. What do birds lay?
Eggs.
First person to step foot on the moon.
Armstrong. Neil.
8 times 10.
80.
80.
What 90s sitcom did Jerry Seinfeld star in?
Seinfeld. Or the Seinfeld Chronicles.
What type of animal is a salmon?
Fish.
What continent is Italy in?
Europe.
What color are flamingos?
Pink.
What band did Kurt Cobain play in?
Nirvana.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the
Stream.
What is a peach?
It's a fruit.
Fruit.
What is H2O the symbol for?
Water.
Very good. What game show is Bob Barker known for hosting?
Price is Right.
Very good. Okay, I'm going to tally the points. And as I do that, tell me what you have to promote.
Well, the Friendship Hour podcast.
Jason,
tell them
about the podcast.
The Friendship Hour podcast comes out on any given day of the week that Oren decides to produce the show. Usually recorded on a Sunday or Monday and released between a Tuesday and Thursday. Usually Tuesdays at around 11 a.m. Eastern time. It's me and Oren just it's Oren telling stories, me commenting on them, and me with the occasional story, and we just roast each other.
Yeah, Jason's had about 7 things happen in his life, even in his 30s. So we stretch out sometimes. We're hoping things will happen to him in the future, even though the pandemic is slowing both our lives down. But we're keeping good spirits. We're best friends in the world, apparently. And we record every week. We haven't missed a week. We're not going to miss a week. And we might even have some comedian guests in the future. But for now,
once the pandemic stops, yeah, or like at least, once we can have people at Oren's apartment.
And that is on Spotify and iTunes as well, or Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube.
I also sell cassette tapes of it out of my Volkswagen.
Very nice. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
You both got the exact same amount of questions correct in the lightning round. You both got 7 correct, which means, Jason, you end the game with 12 points. And Oren, you're a winner with 14 points.
I mean, Jason's
congratulations.
That's good. Thank you so much. This was fun.
Yeah.
This is the worst night of my week. No, this is a lot of fun. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being on. Everyone at home, please like and subscribe and share and listen to the Friendship Hour. It's a great podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.